What's up, everyone? We're going to be going through the best NBA player props on Prizepicks today. Now, if you watched yesterday's YouTube video, unfortunately, we didn't do too well on picks from yesterday's video, as we only got 1 out of the 3 picks correct. So I'm really sorry about that, but we have some locks for you today, and we're going to be bouncing back with today's YouTube picks. However, I also did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group. Now, we did decently. We got 19 picks correct. And if you want to get 19 picks correct like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. It should be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $1,112 just yesterday. Another member who won $150 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel, the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to Aded Gislami 6399 who said, "Hey bro, new subscriber, what time do you usually drop these videos?" So if you don't know already, I drop these videos based off LA time because I know there are people from other parts of America, but if we're going off LA time, pretty much around 8 to 9 a.m. get the picks in early for you guys. So shouts out to him, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below on this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. All right, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to talk about is none other than Obi Toppin. So as you all know, Obi Toppin, great player for none other than the Indiana Pacers. And this one is for 10.5 points, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at Obi Toppin, we actually have seen him go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we see on June 1st, faced off against New York Knicks, had 18 points there. In Game 1, on June 6th against OKC, had 17 points. After that, Game 2 had 3 points on June 9th. Then faced off against OKC in Game 3 on June 12th and had 8 points there. Then 17 points against OKC on June 14th. So we have seen Obi Toppin actually go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, this definitely has been an interesting one because we do see that his average over the last 5 is also 12.6, so slightly above this line. But coming into this next game, we do know that Indiana face off against Oklahoma City Thunder, and this is actually for Game 5. Now, this is a very crucial game because, as you all know, the series is currently tied 2-2. So whoever wins this game is going to be up 3-2 in the series and only 1 win away from the NBA championship. So it is definitely going to be a big game, but when we look at this matchup, we do know, looking at both these teams and starting off with Indiana, we do know that Indiana Pacers do rank 4th when it actually comes to, their Eastern Conference. Now, they did have a record of 50-32 during the regular season and also had a 61% win percentage, so pretty good there. Now, when it came to their road to the finals, they definitely had a very generational run type role because they actually faced off against the Bucks in the first round and was able to knock out Giannis and the Bucks. After that, they faced off against the number 1 seed, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and was able to knock them out. Then they knocked out the New York Knicks, who also had a great run, and knocked out Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns there. So, Obi Toppin and the rest of the Indiana Pacers definitely had a really good run to the NBA Finals. Now, on the other side of things, we do see Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, OKC did come in at the number 1 spot in the Western Conference, but not just that, but they were the number 1 team in the whole of the NBA because they had a record of 68 wins and 14 losses. So they absolutely dominated the NBA during the regular season, an 82.9% win percentage. They finished off the season with a 4-game win streak, and their road to the finals was definitely a tough one as well. They faced off the Grizzlies in the first round, was able to knock them out, then knocked out a reigning champion in the Denver Nuggets, took them to 7 games and was able to knock them out there, and then knocked out a very very young and great potential team in the Minnesota Timberwolves and find themselves in the NBA Finals. So it's definitely been an interesting battle between both of these teams, but looking at Obi Toppin, obviously this is for points, and looking at Oklahoma City Thunder, we do see OKC do rank third when it comes to points allowed. So there's a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. Now, do not get me wrong, Obi Toppin has gone on the over in some of those matchups against OKC. But like I always mention, you know, when it comes to the NBA Finals, it is definitely going to be interesting because there will be times players go and do, you know, I would say the unexpected when it comes to their line. Although Obi Toppin is expected to go on the under, yes, there are some games where he does end up going on the over, and that's just how sports is. But coming into this next matchup, especially with OKC being tied in the series 2-2, also at OKC's home floor, we are expecting in this matchup that OKC are definitely going to make some big defensive adjustments that should restrict Obi Toppin as much as they can. So for that reason, we do very much like, you know, the under for this situation here. We definitely see someone like Obi Toppin going on the under due to that situation, and the fact that Indiana will probably rely on players like Tyrese, like Pascal, and Myles Turner to do a lot more of the heavy lifting when it comes to scoring. Now, Obi Toppin, yes, he did come off a pretty big game, but we definitely now see this line being a little bit too high from those outlier matchups, that now there's a lot more value actually to go on the under. Now, looking at Obi Toppin, we have seen over the last, you know, 2 games of that he did play during the regular season against OKC. We saw in one of the matchups on the 26th of December last year, he had 5 points in that matchup, so did go in the under in that line. And then another matchup on the 29th of March where he actually had 12 points there. So he did go under on one of them, over on the other. But coming into this next matchup, we do very much like the under for this situation here. So, you know, I always take these regular season games with a grain of salt, but the fact that he has gone on the under in one of them is definitely a sign that OKC are able to really get it done and do well defensively, especially against a player like Obi Toppin. So for that reason, keep an eye out for Obi Toppin. So Obi Toppin, 10.5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or SGA. And this one is a fantastic one because this one is actually for assists, for 6.5 assists at that. And this one actually is for less. So here it is, guys. SGA, 6.5 assists for less. Now, looking at SGA, we have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, you see on May 29th, faced off against Minnesota, had 8 assists there. After that, June 6th, faced off against Indiana in game 1, had 3 assists. Then had 8 assists against Indiana on June 9th. In game 3 against Indiana on June 12th, had 4 assists there. And then most recently had 0 assists on June 14th against Indiana in game 4. Now, coming into this next matchup, we do see that SGA, or Shai, has an average over the last 5 of 4.6, so significantly below this line. And looking at this matchup, as we all know, it is OKC against Indiana. Series is tied 2-2, and we are, you know, or both teams are hoping to get this win in game 5. Now, looking at SGA and also his assist line, when you look at Indiana Pacers defensively, you do see that Indiana Pacers do rank 12th when it came to assists allowed during the regular season. Now, we have seen Indiana actually really improve their defense throughout this whole playoff run. We have actually seen them rank in the higher top 10 when it came to defense, when it comes to the playoffs just specifically. And we have definitely seen Indiana do a great job defensively there. But when we look at assists as well, as we all know, SGA is a guard, and Indiana actually do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the guard position. Although SGA has been able to score really well, where he has really struggled throughout this whole series is definitely in the playmaking department. He's only gone on the over in one of those, 4 games so far, and we definitely are expecting in this next one for SGA to go on the under. Another big reason for this as well is that when you look at the matchup as well, We are also expecting SGA to do a lot more of the heavy lifting scoring wise, which does actually, lessen his usage rate out there when it comes to playmaking. So that's a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. And we definitely see someone like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going on the under. So for that reason, when you also look at SGA over the last 2 games against, actually Pacers during the regular season, we saw them face off against each other on the 26th of December. He actually had 8 assists in that matchup, and then on their next matchup on the 29th of March actually had 8 assists there as well. So he did do pretty well assist wise, but coming into this next one, as we all know, playoffs are a complete different story. And the fact that when we look at the playoffs as well, another big reason that the playoffs are definitely a different story is because we are also expecting a lot of the defensive focus to be on SGA and trying to stop him as much as they can. So for that reason, keep an eye out for SGA there when it comes to that. So SGA or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for 6.5 assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now getting to the next one, we're going to be talking about none other than Myles Turner. So Myles Turner, great player, and this one is none other than points, rebounds, and assists, or PRA, for 20.5, and this one is for less. So looking at Myles Turner, we have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now looking at those 5 games, we see on June 1st, faced off against New York Knicks, had 13 PRA there. After that, had a 24 PRA against OKC in Game 1 on June 6th. Then June 9th against OKC had a 24 PRA, 12 PRA in the next game in Game 3 on June 12th, and then Game 4, June 14th, had a 16 PRA. So we definitely have seen, when it comes to Myles Turner, he actually has gone on the under quite consistently. And on top of that, when we also look further, we see that his average over the last 5 is only 17.8. So, significantly below, the line there. Now, looking at someone like Myles Turner, we have also seen him play some pretty big minutes, but his usage rate has still remained very low, as Indiana has focused on players like Pascal and like players like Tyrese to really handle more of the offensive load, rebounding, and also playmaking there. But looking at Indiana and OKC, as we all know, Indiana did come in at the 4th spot in the Eastern Conference, and Thunder came in first. Looking at OKC, we do know OKC do rank 3rd when it comes to points allowed. Assists allowed, they do rank 4th, and then rebounds allowed, they do rank 20th. So yes, they do rank a little bit lower in that rebounding category, but we don't really see that being enough, as we definitely still see someone like Myles Turner going on the under here. Now, when you look further, you also do see that when it comes to Myles Turner, we have seen his usage rate be a little bit on the lower side due to, like I mentioned before, due to things such as other players like Pascal and Tyrese doing a lot more of the heavy lifting there. And we definitely still see that being, a certain sort of a milestone when it comes to Myles Turner playing his role and just doing what he is out there to do. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for Myles Turner when we look at Turner over the 2 games against OKC during the regular season. We saw on the 26th of December, he actually had 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists in that first game against each other. So he did go on the over there. So looking at the second matchup, we did see him only have 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist, which is a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. So coming into this next game, it's definitely or more likely to be on the under, because when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have him favored for the under as well. So Myles Turner, 20.5 points, rebs, and assists for less, I think is an absolute steal. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but Prizepicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is none other than Isaiah Hartenstein. So as you all know, Hartenstein is a fantastic player for none other than Oklahoma City Thunder. And as we do know, we do see that he has averaged during the regular season 11.2 points, 10.7 rebounds, 3.8 assists, while also shooting 58.1% from the field. So Isaiah Hartenstein has actually done a fantastic job for this actual Oklahoma City Thunder team. And when it comes to OKC, as we all know, they do face off against the Indiana Pacers. Now, just to remind you and reiterate, where this series has gone so far. We do know that Pacers and Thunder, it is currently tied 2-2, and heading into game 5, it is definitely going to be a big game. Whoever wins this one puts themselves in a 3-2 position, so it's definitely a crucial game for both of these teams. Now, just to remind you all where both of these teams are, obviously we have seen Oklahoma City Thunder dominate during the regular season. They did come in at the number 1 spot in the Western Conference, but not only that, but they had the best record in the whole of the NBA. Now, they actually had a 68-win, 14-loss season, so they did a fantastic job there. An 82.9% win percentage, which I thought was great, and they also finished off that season with a 4-game win streak. Now, Thunder has definitely had a really interesting path to the NBA Finals because they have done very well. When we do see they faced off against the Grizzlies in round 1, they were able to knock them out pretty easily there. After that, faced off against, Denver Nuggets in the second round, where it was taken to 7 games, but they were able to come away with the victory. After that, we also saw in the conference finals pretty much, or the third round, we saw them face off against the Timberwolves and was able to knock them out pretty easily. And now they find themselves 2-2 in a tied series in the NBA Finals. So they definitely have done a decent job there when it comes to, Thunder and throughout the whole playoff in general. But looking at their matchup, obviously they face off against the Indiana Pacers. Now, Indiana have been on a bit of a historic run. They did come forth in the Eastern Conference with a 50-32 record. So 50 wins, 32 losses, a 61% win percentage. And on top of that, their journey to the, NBA Finals has definitely been an interesting one. We did see that, during that, we saw that they faced off in round 1 against, the Bucks. So that was a big game there. After that, we also saw in the next, matchup after that, they faced off against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, that was also a big matchup due to the fact that when you look at that matchup, they did knock out the number 1 seed. So Cavs were the number 1 seed there. Then in the conference finals, faced off against the New York Knicks and was able to get the job done pretty easily. So, they find themselves in a great position in NBA Finals, 2-2. Now, obviously, it is definitely going to be an intense game because it is against, Oklahoma City Thunder. But I think overall, it's definitely going to be an exciting one for sure. Now, looking at, someone like, Isaiah Hartenstein and also the matchup against the Pacers, we do know that the Pacers do rank when it comes to points allowed. We do know that they rank 17th in the regular season. When it came to assists allowed, we also did see that the Pacers ranked 12th. And then rebounds allowed, we also did see that, the Pacers did rank also 22nd, so I didn't really rank too well there. So looking overall, we definitely have seen, Isaiah Hartenstein have great games here and there, but coming into this next one, we do actually like the under for this situation here. Now, a big reason being for this is due to the fact that although it is the NBA Finals, we have definitely seen Isaiah Hartenstein have very much a lower usage rate than usual. And this is just due to the fact that other players in this team definitely have a higher usage rate, and it has taken away from actually Isaiah Hartenstein greatly. Now, looking at, Isaiah over the last 5 games, we definitely have seen some pretty interesting stat lines from him. Now, starting from game 5 of the last series against Minnesota, we actually saw them, face off, and they did win that game 124-94. He had 8 points, 0 assists, and 5 rebounds in that matchup. Then in game 1 of actually, against Indiana, had a 111-110 loss, had 9 points, 9 rebounds, and 0 assists there. After that, we also saw in the next matchup in game 2, a 123-107 victory, had 3 points, 4 assists, and 8 rebounds there. Then in game 3, in a loss with a 116-107 loss at that, actually had 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 0 assists there. After that, game 4 had 2 points, 3 assists, and 6 rebounds with a 111-104 victory. So, we definitely have seen Isaiah Hartenstein's, usage rate and stats be very up and down when it comes to, where it actually is, dependent on, game, circumstances, all those different things. But coming into this next game, as we always say, there will always be big adjustments made after each each and every single game. But coming into this next one, we definitely see someone like Isaiah Hartenstein going on the under here due to the fact that we are expecting other star players in this Thunder team to definitely take a lot more of the usage rate away from him. On top of that, when you look at Pacers actually do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the center position as well. So the fact that they have done a great job throughout the whole playoffs, we definitely also see that affecting Isaiah Hartenstein greatly. So for that reason, keep an eye out for the under for Isaiah Hartenstein. Keep an eye out for the line. If the line is too close to his averages, then definitely look to go on the under. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Bennedict Mathurin. So, as you all know, Bennedict Mathurin, great player for none other than Indiana Pacers. Now, he has done a fantastic job during the regular season. We have seen him actually average 16.1 points, ranking him 59th. Also, on top of that, we also saw 5.3 rebounds and also 1.9 assists and 45.8% field goal percentage. So, just look at the rankings as well. He ranks 66th in rebounds, 135th in assists, and then 75th in field goal percentage. So it's definitely done a great job for this team. Now, looking at Indiana Pacers, however, we do know where they do rank standing wise and where they are in this series. But looking at Oklahoma City Thunder, we do know that OKC do rank 3rd in points allowed, 4th in assists allowed, and when it comes to rebounds allowed, they do rank 20th. So they definitely do rank a little bit worse in that. Now, coming into this next matchup, we do very much like, the under for this situation here, but strictly just for points and assists. And a big reason being for this is due to the fact that when you look at someone like Bennedict Mathurin, although he is a great player, Thunder honestly do such a great job, not only at restricting points and assists, in general, but they also do a great job at restricting that to the shooting guard position. And that's where we definitely see someone like Bennedict Mathurin definitely struggling in this game. OKC throughout this whole series has definitely been a big, sort of asset for this team for sure. But OKC's defense has definitely done wonders at times against Bennedict Mathurin and just, guards in general for this Pacers roster. So OKC definitely know how to bring the defensive pressure. Now, looking at Bennedict Mathurin over the last 5 games, he's definitely had some big games in the past. Yes, that is for sure. But there are also other games that he hasn't done too well. We saw against New York Knicks in the last game before they advanced, had a 125-108 victory, actually had 4 points, 0 assists, and 1 rebound there. So we actually did see him be on a bit on the lower side. Then in game 1 against OKC, had a 111-110 victory with 5 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds there. After that, in game 2 against OKC, had a 123-107 loss. Actually had a 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. After that, game 3 against OKC had a 116-107 victory, had 27 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist as well. After that, game 4 had a 111-104 loss, had 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 0 assists there. So it's definitely been very unpredictable at times for Bennedict Mathurin, but like I always mentioned, that is pretty much, how it is like in the NBA Finals, and especially that's NBA playoffs in general. There will be games where he does go over in his line. There will be others where he doesn't, but coming into this next one, we do very much like the under for this situation here for someone like Bennedict Mathurin. Now, like I mentioned before, I definitely would focus a little bit more on something like points and assists due to the fact that OKC do rank very much better in those two situations. So for that reason, we are definitely liking the under for those for sure. So keep an eye out for someone like Bennedict Mathurin. We definitely see someone like him going on the under due to this situation. And we definitely see, OKC really bring the defense and trying to restrict him as much as they can. So for that reason, keep an eye out for Bennedict Mathurin's line. If the line is too close to his averages, then definitely look to go on the under. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about an Oklahoma City Thunder favorite, and that is Aaron Wiggins. So as you all know, Aaron Wiggins, great player for Oklahoma City Thunder, and he has done a fantastic job during this regular season because we've actually seen him average, 12 points, 3.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and a 48.8% field goal percentage. So he's definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, when we look at someone, like Aaron Wiggins, we also did see that he ranked 96th when it came to points, 115th when it came to rebounds, 144th when it came to assists, and then 39th when it came to actually field goal percentage. So we definitely have seen, very interesting, usage rate from Aaron Wiggins in this actual series. It's definitely been a little bit more unpredictable than we thought. But looking at Oklahoma City Thunder, we do know they face off against Pacers, and the series is tied 2-2. Now, just to remind you as well, Pacers do rank actually 4th. And then also on top of that, we also do know that in the Western Conference, we did see Thunder actually rank very well as they ranked first. But looking at someone like Aaron Wiggins, we do very much like this situation for him. Now, looking at Pacers, just again, we did see they ranked 17th in points. Also on top of that, assist-wise, they did rank actually, they actually ranked 12th. And then rebounds allowed, they did rank 22nd. Now, coming into this matchup, however, we did see when it came to Aaron Wiggins, we are expecting the under for this situation here. Now, a big reason for this situation is due to the fact that when you look at someone like Aaron Wiggins, he definitely doesn't have the highest usage rate for this team. It's definitely been a bit of an interesting one because Aaron Wiggins' usage rate during the regular season was a lot more higher, but we have seen him take a little bit more of a secondary role-playing type role. That is definitely going to be an interesting one there. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this one. Now, looking at Aaron Wiggins in the last 5 games, we definitely have seen some pretty interesting stat lines from him. We saw in Game 5 against Minnesota, had a 124-94 victory, had 0 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist there. After that, Game 1 against Indiana with a 111-110 loss, actually had a 3.0 rebound, 0 assist game. Then in Game 2 against Indiana, 123-107 victory, had 18 points, 1 assist, and 4 rebounds there. After that, Game 3, 116-107 loss, had 0 points, 2 assists, and also 2 rebounds. Then in Game 4, had a 111-104 victory with 1 point, 1 assist, and 0 rebounds there. So when we actually look at it, we actually do see that when it comes to Aaron Wiggins, we definitely have seen his usage rate be a little bit on the lower side. Sometimes he doesn't even get enough minutes on the floor, and that's a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for this situation. We definitely see that coming into this game, Aaron Wiggins will probably most likely play a more of a defensive role for this roster or for this team coming into this game. So for that reason, keep an eye out for Aaron Wiggins. I see a lot of value there to go on the under. Like I always mentioned, don't really need to focus on anything. I think points, rebounds, and assists, he definitely has the capability to go on the under in either one of them. So just definitely keep an eye out for it in general. So Aaron Wiggins, keep an eye out for the line. If the line is too close to his averages, then definitely look to go on the under.